Okay, Spider and Bees here. I have a K&M Spider, Cornell University Certified Master Beekeeper. Today, I'm talking a little bit about my observation hive. I've actually had to do some modifications to it because when I initially installed it, it wasn't here where it is right now. Let me scroll back down. It's on the front of the side of my workshop where the barn doors are. And before I had it on this side here, facing that away, and it wasn't working out so well. Or at least that's my perception. Because, and I started thinking that maybe that was because of the size of the holes I was using. But since I needed to take the holes out anyway, this is the holes I was using. And let me scroll this back a little bit because I've got us zoomed in so you can sort of see the holes in what is actual. And so if you see that, ran that through the wall. They seem to have a tough time getting through the wall with that one. So what I did was switch it out for the one you see down below. So to kind of give you some perspective on that, you can see the difference in the size of the holes itself, the openings. So that seems to at least solve the getting in and out problem. The other thing is I had put an old queen in here, and there was no pollen coming in. There was no egg laying. I was really worried about the hive. So what I ended up doing was when I got the swarm, I took some of the swarm. I took a frame. Well, actually, some of the burr comb had eggs and larvae in it. And what I did was I took some of the burr comb and I basically attached it to a frame, and I put the frame in, and then because of the time frame, this time of year, I wasn't looking for them to raise their own. This is June. This is July. I'm sorry, and of 2026, and this is Western Massachusetts. And so what I ended up doing was putting that frame in, not to see if they'll raise their own queen, but to give them. I didn't want them to start trying to supersede or anything like that or create a laying worker, but it was to give the nurse bees some things to do. I also took a frame of nurse bees from a couple of my stronger hives, and I put a frame of a good frame of brood with nurse bees in, and basically at that point, I decided to just go ahead and get a mated queen. And I left the mated queen in for about 6 days and then direct released her. So I saw immediately an improvement, and I knew I could direct release her because they were nursing her outside the cage. You could take your finger and they would move right off. But I just gave them the amount of time I felt like they needed. Of course, I got the old queen out of there, and left the cage. Went in for about 5 6 days, and then direct released her. And so, at this point, let me show you what the inside looks like. I'm gonna zoom back out, and we'll go inside and I can show you. What I am going to do is also set up a cam so that you can actually see what they're doing inside the actual observation hive. So give me a second here. So this is the observation hive. Because of the modifications and the rearrangement and stuff that I had to do, it took a minute for me to start to see what I wanted to see. And that's them bringing in pollen. You know, I've seen the queen already. I'll post that at some point, but I've seen the queen, and I've seen them bringing in pollen. And they're starting to do the thing that I wanted them to do. I'm also seeing them build up little bits of wax. So on this on the glass, I hate seeing that, but it is what they do. This feeder is now empty, and I've got some Naroxa. I'll show you the bag. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open that bag, and I'm gonna pour the Naroxa in. Naroa, I should call it. I'm calling it by the wrong name. It's Naroa. I'm going to pour that into the feeder. At this point, I've seen her start to lay. I haven't seen any new capped brood yet, but I'm not at a point where I'm actually trying to go in and do that level of inspection. So I'm going to pour that in and basically let them feed on that until it's gone. And once that's gone, then I'll start back. I got a little pollen patty in here as well. I don't know if you can see it, but you know, they're feeding on that a little bit. And we'll see how it goes. I will come back and set this up, because I'm just going to set it up just to kind of like observe the bees working on this frame right here, just to look at the activity that's going there. This is an 8 frame, so there's 2 frames per level, and so we'll get back with you in a minute. And the queen in the observation hive. Looks like they accepted her. I did a direct release this morning. She had been in the hive for about 6 days. And so at this point, I just need to come back. I staggered some of the frames. So all the frames on this side, I need to stagger. I need to put frames on the other side so that, you know, it's filled up. But yeah, that looks pretty good. She seems to be accepted. Looks like she might even be laying her first egg. I've got syrup, 1-to-1 sugar syrup at the top. I've also got a pollen patty here, and I'm open feeding pollen on the outside. So basically, all I have to do now is wait for her to do her thing. Looks like things are looking pretty good. I think this hive should probably, I'm going to try to overwinter it, but I think it should probably do okay. All right, Spider and Bees. Drive a Can-Am Spider, and I'm a Cornell University Certified Master Beekeeper. Pursue happiness, lean into joy. See ya.